Nails Magazine's Next Top Nail Artist Season 7 Pre-Challenge 1, The Power of Emotion, that is sponsored by Swarovski. For my emotion, I chose Delight, as in Delight by Simple Pleasures. I love the idea of just relaxing and smelling flowers. I think it's the most rejuvenating thing there is. So that's what I based my whole design on. I began with, across all 5 tips, I just used a very soft peachy pink gel polish. And then I applied some matte top coat. And then to create my first face, I decided to use kind of like a forward on perspective. And I used kind of a beige color acrylic, and I'm going to start sculpting her face. And I just applied a layer of acrylic down that was the base shape, and then pressed my brush in for the eye sockets, created some thickness around the nose, sculpted out the nose area, added her lips, and then I'm going to be sculpting her eyes. For both of my 2 faces, I decided to have their eyes closed in kind of like a expression. So then I'm going to take just a little bit of a bronze color and add sort of a spread out for the base of her hair, just from her forehead going out a little bit. I created little curls with brown and black acrylic on a nail form backing. And I just took long little strips and then curled them around a silicone tool, let them set up, and then I started gluing them in place for her hair. And then for the next face that I'm going to do, I used a much lighter complexion for this one. So it's kind of, in my mind, it's my daughter and myself if my daughter was older. And so she's got a much darker skin tone than I do and crazy dark curls. And so this next one is pale as a ghost like me, with more of like a reddish blonde brown color. My hair is undefined, but I decided to do kind of a little depiction of myself and her. So then for this one, I'm going to go through and do more of a braided hairstyle, which is something that I have almost every single day. And I added just the first layer of hair color down, then I took a lighter color and added more details to it. Now to create my little 3D flowers, I did orange, yellow, and pink flowers, and they are really pretty bright colored lilies. So I created my little petals on a nail form backing and then sort of folded them, not fully in half, but close to it. And here's all the flowers laid out. Then after I have all of the petals sculpted, I glued them together with some nail glue. So I glued them 6 petals to a flower. Just take a little nail glue, hold them in place, and then to create the stamens, I put some gel on the end of a piece of wire and then dipped that into the Swarovski Crystal Pixie, which created just perfect little stamens. I loved the way those turned out. And then for the biggest flower, I bent my stamens into a little curve. So for the biggest one, I put 5 stamens in the middle of it. For the medium-sized flowers, I did 3, and for the smallest ones, I just did 1 stamen coming out the center. Then attach your flowers to the nails wherever you think they are needed, and then just fill the nails with Swarovski crystals. I wanted this to be really bright, really cheery. When I looked at my crystals when I got them in the mail, the first idea I had was just something happy. The crystals just seemed happy. So I figured that this whole concept was perfect for that vibe I got off of them immediately. And I just filled in the nails with as many crystals as I could to make them really glitzy and glamorous. And so just keep adding them, fill in the crystals around the flowers. I use mostly yellows and oranges and pinks, as those are the colors of my flowers. But I also, every so often, I put in a really small little ocean colored crystal. And that gave all of those other colors so much, and it just made them much more vibrant. It had a nice little contrast to it. So use a variety of crystal colors and just kind of fill them in. And then for the last nail that I didn't do any of the 3D work on, I just wanted to have a nail that was pure Swarovskis. So I covered it. I did 2 Swarovski flowers, and then I filled in the background with Crystal Pixie. And now I'm going to take and I'm going to add some painted details onto my characters. So I have some diluted colors, and I'm going to go through and just sort of shade in their faces a little bit, add a little color to their lips, define their eyebrows and their lash line. Give them some eyelashes. Like I said, their eyes are closed, so you don't have to worry about any of the pupils or irises or anything. Apply some matte top coat over the faces, and then I have a little 3D glaze that I used over the flowers. So here's the same thing for the second character. Do all of those facial paintings. Add a little bit more definition to her hair, to those braids, so that they show up. The curls on that one were just so, I absolutely love them. They didn't really need anything else. And then to detail the flowers, what I did is I took some really dark burgundy paint and I added a whole bunch of little dots inside the middle area of each petal, and then I took a touch of white paint right along the very edges of each petal. So they just had that nice little highlight on the edge, which made them show up so nicely. And then after they have that little bit of top coat on them, they're done. I love this set. I am so proud of it. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!